Hello, this is the video for question 2 on both Form A and B. So go ahead and take notes to fix the one you did and then practice the other version to make sure you do better on the next test. So you might want to pause it. Both questions are set up similar but slightly different. And go ahead and write this down in your notes. The opposite sides of a parallelogram and a rectangle is a parallelogram. Opposite sides are equal. So that means that every parallelogram and every triangle has a short side and a long side. The two short sides are equal, and the two long sides are equal. And so that's why we can set up the equation in this way. The two short sides are equal. 2x plus 6 is equal to 4y. In both questions, the two short sides are equal. And so that's one of the equations. And the two long sides are equal. So 8x is equal to 8y plus 8. 5x is equal to 7y plus 7. Now, I can't really cancel here because they're not lined up in the same way. So it doesn't really matter which one I pick to change. Doesn't really matter. I just need to do something so that they look the same. So it looks like if I subtracted 6 on both sides here, and it looks like it would work for this one as well. If I subtract 6 on both sides, I could rewrite this equation. So that would be 2x. And now this side says 4y minus 6, 4y minus 6. So now these two equations are nice and lined up. Can do the same thing on this side. We have 2x and then 5y minus 6, 5y minus 6. So now here we go. We definitely have them lined up and it's ready for cancellation. So when I look at this here, I'm not exactly sure. I have to come up with a plan. I think if I multiply this by negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, it looks like those y's would cancel. So I'm going to rewrite this equation by multiplying everything by negative 2. So that'd be negative 2 times 2x, negative 8y, positive 12. There's my equation. And it should cancel with this equation. So I'm just going to rewrite this one here. 8x, 8y. Okay, so these two equations should cancel out nicely. So 8x minus 4x would be 4x. This would go away, and that would be 20. So I end up getting x is 5. Now that I've solved the mystery of the x, I can substitute that back in, and either equation is fine. So I'm just going to use, it doesn't really matter. I guess I'll just use this equation here. That equation says 8 times x is equal to 8y plus 8. So if x is in fact 5, I have 8 times 5. $40 is equal to 8y plus 8. Now I'm just trying to get y by himself on one side. So y here would be the number 4, and I've done it. I've solved for x and I've solved for y. That's Form B. So let's go ahead and do the same thing, pretty much exactly the same steps. I got to come up with a plan. So it looks like this plan is going to be a little bit more, one more step. If I multiply everything, I like it if this one's negative. But the problem is, to get this to cancel, I need this to be a common number. So I'm thinking if I multiply by negative 5 on every term, negative 5, negative 5, negative 5, then this will turn into, let me rewrite this, negative 5. So that'd be negative 10x, negative 25y, positive 30. I'm liking that. I like that. But now this one, I need to make that 10x. So I'm going to have to multiply by positive 2 in each number, and then rewrite that down here. So that falls right into my plan because now this is 10x, this is 14y, and that's 14. Okay. So now everything is lined up nice. I'm going to get rid of my x, 0. And I get negative 11y. Let me just double check my math here. Yep, that's negative 11y plus a 44. Cool. Now I'm just going to get y by itself on one side. So if I add both sides by 11y, I get 11y is equal to 44. Divide 11 on both sides. Y is 4. Great. Now, I can plug this back in because I've solved the mystery of the y, and I can solve for x. So, any of these are fine. Doesn't matter which equation I use. I guess I'll just use this top one. So it's 2x plus 6 is equal to 5y. That was the first equation we used. So now I've solved the mystery of the y. It's 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. It's going to recopy that. And if I subtract 6 on both sides, I get 14. If I divide 2 on both sides, I get x is equal to 7. So there's my answer. I get when y is 4, x is 7. That is question 2 on the quad test. Thanks for joining us.